What's up, world? Here again about this Dcuo band. It's your boy, aka Legendary Anarchy, aka Primal Anarchy. Um, Again, much hasn't changed. People had got banned. And I'm looking at other YouTubers, kind of looking around, looking at the comments. I've seen people explain, detail what had been done, and it was personal gain, and yeah, I get all that at the end of the day. Like I said previously, before everybody's been known for glitching almost in DC, and if you're not, you're a rarity. But I said myself after Halls of Hades before, at some point now I'm questioning your skill. If it's just glitching in far as the raids. But far as fraud, it is what it is. It's credit card fraud. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Credit card fraud. I mean, you can catch Fed case on some people that call Fed cases because of that. So let's not act like Maps didn't do people a favor. I see people on the game. I was on there last night. People talking about I wouldn't come back. Well, I would hope not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't doing me a favor at this time because you don't come back. You wouldn't create another account to. I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Maps did them a favor because if it was me, probably would slap cases just to make the point. Because DC has always been lenient on bans, and that is a fact. People throw the racist nigger out there, and you see that all kind of shit in chat, and people be right back in the game the next day. And I've actually been banned for defending the word, and got banned 2 or 3 days, maybe a week, something stupid. So my thing at the end of the day, as far as the time capsules, some people say that it was a jip. It wasn't about being a jip because it's always been what DC has been. You strike the luck. You either get it or you don't. That was the thing about booster bundles. What made them rare was because everybody couldn't get them. And that's what I loved about the booster bundles. That's why they should have been the millions that they cost or the 1 billions that they cost for the OGs because you couldn't get them. People, put them all. No, you don't. That was the whole purpose. You see them, either you get lucky and you get them or you don't. It is a money maker in the game. Keeps the money circulating in the game. Same thing with the time capsules. I finished a plenty of collections on multiple characters. Multiple characters. I got 2 mains. 2 mains is enough. I said multiple characters. I spent collections on about 4 people since time capsules came out. So I spent my share of money. So I ain't coming from a place of just 100. You just spent 100. Spent way more than 100. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say that. It's a few auras that I don't have. Now I'm 1 piece away. It's like the Phoenix, what is it? The Phoenix Feather. I think that's the one that's like 100 mil. I'm missing those most expensive ones, the most expensive rare ones. Yeah, I can take that. But for the most part, on my 2 mains, I've cleared pretty much both auras on both. So either you just have a bad luck with it, and sometimes in DC, I can say that because I remember when the OG bundle, the OG Plasma came out, I had 1. I think I opened like 4 of them up. Only got 1. I know people who had like 2 or 3 within they opening of a pack or opening of a bundle, should I say. And sometimes the luck is like that with them capsules. But the capsules, again, come from us. I think I'm disgusted with the community because we did this. And people don't want to take responsibility for it. And that's what I don't like. We did this. As a community, we fucked up DCUO. And that is a fact. Only because of people were lazy. You see what I'm saying? That's where this shit started from. People didn't want to grind for the skill points, so they switched the game up to accommodate the casual so-called fucking player. Because people didn't want to grind. And then all these fixes came. Power started getting fucked up because people, oh, this OP power and that powers, and then all the same DPS was the same fucking power. That's a fact. So DC hasn't changed much. People are still who they are, selfish as fuck in this game. Hence, the support role is the least. You can find a DPS on every other fucking shop. It's a fact. And everybody can't DPS. So, again, like I said, we did this to the community. And it is sad to see where DC is going. Now, because people hadn't grinded, and then they didn't made this major sweep, and then it's a second wave coming. Now you stuck with a bunch of players who don't grind. Elite gonna be hard as hell next DLC if they come out with one. Because people have been cheating prior to. You weren't doing that all for the community. All that shit was just to gain money and become a billionaire in the game. I get it. I get it. But on the same token, it was a time where DC wasn't worth shit as far as cash. It was a period right there a couple of years ago where everybody had everything and wasn't grinding for the shit that they was getting. Everybody got every aura, every OP item, every this. Some people really didn't deserve that shit. And that's how I feel. And that's just my own opinion. Some people go, who you gonna tell who can deserve what? Well, if it's 250 skill points in the game and you only choose to get 100 or 80 of them, but you got every OP piece, then nah, I don't feel like you don't deserve that. Because that means you just ain't trying to do it. You don't want to because you don't have to. I've always said, DC make people play the game. Now you're going to be stuck with a certain crowd in DC. DC going to be hard as hell. And all the veteran players who have grinded are now going to suffer. But I think they did a good thing. So again, the time capsules are a product of us. From people being lazy. I'm sorry, that's just where it came from. You didn't want to grind, so they made us pay for the capsules. I'm not mad at the capsules. They're supposed to be rare. But since people was cheating, that none of that shit was rare. So now the economy is now about to jack up because now this shit is about to be rare. Because everybody's not cheating. Now I feel all the money that I done spent, that DC need to do something special for us. Because this has taken place. That's all I'm saying. Like, now the economy should be jacked up. I hope the economy goes up in DC. Now things are going to start to be worth money. I just seen last night stuff started to jack up immediately. Because it's not oversaturated anymore. Drop rate the drop rate has always been what it's been. And that's what made DC great and rare. When you have everything oversaturated for a time there, every aura was saturated. Them solars, all of them joints was everywhere. The white smoke, I had like 6 white smokes. I ain't gonna even stun. I ain't complaining though, because I could have not got any. There's some people who probably didn't get none. But that's how unrare it was. That's why it wasn't worth. That's why the economy in DC wasn't worth anything, because everybody had everything. DC ain't never been about everybody having everything. That's what made things rare. It was the same. It was almost like when you had great players, or the difference in between players with skill points. Even though you might have a great player who was great, but he lacked the skill points. So he lost because, and I explained this before. He lost because he didn't have the skill points to keep up with another great player who had skill points and who might have had that same OP power. But he just couldn't inch out and beat him because he lacked 150 skill points. That's what DC has always been. And I ain't saying it doesn't take away from that person's skill. It means you just didn't have the skill points. What the game was based on. DC, I commend y'all. Y'all did a great job. I'm not saying that y'all haven't benefited off of people glitching, because you have. And that's almost every, and I mean every damn raid. You seen the replay badges go pew, 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 pew. Everybody know that. But again, like I said, it came a time where, for me personally, where I started to question the people around me skill level. These are great players that I were playing with, and yet you feel the need to still glitch this high up? I was done. There was no need. I felt like if you couldn't do it honestly, then you wasn't good enough. So at the end of the day, if you ain't got the money for the time capsules, grind for the skill points, people. Grind for the skill points. That's why all this stuff came about. Because people got lazy. People couldn't clip. They took all these things out of the game because we complained them out of the game. Go back and look at it. They started with clipping. Because people couldn't clip, they eased it. And then all this other shit started to go into play. Same thing with PvP. Powers were this. I remember you throw gadgets and sticky bomb, and then it would stick. Then you could stack. I remember you throw a lightning bolt, it used to kill 6 or 7 people. People complain. I remember when the Whip Thrash and Green Lantern was, all of these powers were OP at once, all of them. We complained until they got nerfed. We did this to the community. And nobody sitting here, they want to point at the devs. No, we did this. Own some responsibility in this game, man. We, the consumer, complained and bitched until we ruined the game. That's why it's fucked up now. So again, the time capsule rate has always been what it will always be, because it was no different than the booster bundles. Some of y'all don't even make sense about the booster bundle. I'll take a chance on a booster bundle. You know why? Because at some point, like I said earlier or just a few minutes ago, it was oversaturated. So nothing was really a rarity. So what's the point of me trying to get all this stuff or play, and there's no value in it? None. In every game that you play, it's always a value. I play Warframe. Plat is a value. It's always something that's worth plat on that game. Same thing with Elder Scrolls. I don't know how you say Rosin, whatever it is. All them gold shits, kudas, and all that shit's worth money. You gotta have some kind of system. DC for a minute, everything was dog-ass dirt cheap, including auras. The auras for a minute would only get up to 20 mil. I'm not finna spend no money on a booster bundle to only get 20 mil. When they went from being 700 million, 500 million to 20 million, that's a big-ass decrease. Come on, DC, let's get fucking real. If you're gonna play the game, grind. You want these time capsules to stop? Then get out here and get these fucking skill points. And some of y'all been playing 2-3 years, still only got fucking 150 skill points. It's almost 400 in the game. That's not a dev problem. That's a fact. AKA Legendary Anarchy, AKA Primal Anarchy. Out.